It's Friday, February 7th, and this is your Western North Carolina update from the Leigh Brown perspective on things. And y'all send me questions, and the number one thing you're asking me is, hey, is there a Trump effect? And I can tell you there absolutely is. With a focus from the White House on Western North Carolina, we are seeing some improvement. The dollars, of course, we've got to figure out what's going on in Raleigh that's keeping the dollars from getting all the way through. But there are finally pieces of equipment cleaning our waterways. There are dump trucks on the move. And yes, some of the FEMA employees are returning phone calls, although they don't have all of the right pieces to connect the dots on what's wrong in this area, frankly, in any of our FEMA systems or any of our emergency management. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, it's this. I personally don't want to see all of the attention go to the city of Asheville, the city of Boone. I want to see the rural areas get as much attention as the cities do. And I know that doesn't always make logical, monetary sense because you've got a great density in the cities and it's harder to reach people in rural counties. But I am a rural route girl. I grew up on rural Route 1 in the country. I want to know that the people who have chosen, for whatever reason, whether it's generational family ties or a desire for privacy, are living out in the back areas. They should not have to live less than just because they chose to live out there. And it frustrates me, especially when I can tell y'all there's another angle of the land grab that has been talked about so many times online, not by conspiracy theorists and those of us that are coincidence spotters. The current land grab situation is this. In some of our areas, there are people who look down on those who live in mobile homes, also known as trailers. Sometimes fancy call it manufactured housing. Some of these trailers were destroyed by trees or by floods, by winds, by all the different angles of things that went wrong with Helene. And now we have some city planners and some counties that are saying they won't allow that same housing to go back in where it was previously. I'm currently working with one landowner and hoping to get them attached to some legal aid because there were 2 trailers on this property for 2 members of the family, and now they can't put the trailers back. I gotta tell y'all something. You want to make me mad? Call me trailer trash. Call anybody trailer trash. The only pejorative you're allowed to use. And in fact, I could say it as many times as I want on social media, and it will never get knocked out by the algorithms. Because frankly, it's usually referring to people that are rural, who don't really care what the government thinks, and aren't part of the super fancy 15-minute city idea. Why is it that we can look down on somebody who lives in a house that's less than what somebody else says it is? To me, as a lifelong realtor, housing is housing. What do you want? Well, that's what I'll help you find. It's not what somebody else thinks you ought to have. So let me ask you this. If we don't allow people to put their trailers back where they were, or to get a new trailer, or to upgrade something because the people in charge want something nicer, what are we turning into here? If you want to fight the divide that's going on, then quit telling somebody else how to live. If they want to live there in the house that they picked out, let's figure out how to make it happen. Make sure we're taking care of things in the right way possible. I just don't think that running off what is left of affordable housing is the answer for long-term prosperity for all. And frankly, the Trump effect that I want to see is this common sense that's been coming back into vogue. Let's make sure that common sense applies to housing and zoning and permits. And if you're the one who volunteers in permits and zoning, get out of the way of people. Because on the local level, y'all have as much to answer for as on the federal level.